in Maine. One must die, chase the cat.
Good evening and welcome to Posse Presents. It's a beautiful day today. It's a little warm. It's kind of early in the year for this type of heat, but I'm trying to tell myself it's all good and I am enjoying it, and not doing a great job, but I'm working on it. Had the privilege of sipping on a nice frozen drink and my tongue is all blue, so if you happen to notice, then on you. Zach's in there laughing. Yeah, I think like the first sip I took of that, I had a blue tongue, and so that's some pretty powerful stuff because usually it takes a couple sips. But anyway, it is what it is. It's that kind of day for enjoying whatever you can do to make yourself cool. This is open season on people who are leaving their dogs in hot cars. Please be vigilant. Call your local police, call your animal control. If you're in a store, have them make an announcement. Do whatever you can. A lot of people like to go vigilante, and that should be pretty much the last choice if the dog is in severe distress. Going to be, out and about at some events this year, and we started last year, and we'll pick it up this year with flyers for people that want to hand them out. Stores and places of business and etc. and so on. If you're interested in getting some of those, you can always email me, pawprince713@aol.com, or message me on Facebook, through the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page, or mine personally. If you want to do it that way, we can get you some flyers, and let's spread the word and try to cut down the number of unnecessary deaths this year. There's already been some dogs that have been, storied, being left in cars. There's children that have died already. It's a really serious thing, and I don't understand how people don't get it, but I don't understand people a lot anyway. It was also a very hot day for some dogs to be roaming in my neighborhood. Last week, I had gotten a message from somebody on Facebook about a dog that was found on my street. And she was wondering if I knew, since I live on the street, where it belonged. And I did not, nor did the mailman, because I reached out to him, was trying to be like, all points, trying to figure out where this dog belonged. And sure enough, there was a Facebook post after a while, and so the dog was able to be returned home. Apparently, his owner is recovering from a medical condition with a neighbor, and the dog got out, and there's two dogs, and thank God I asked her, please just give me the address if it ever happens again, because I had a premonition, if it happens once. Well, today I was out, I was as usual running a little behind, having to get in the shower to get ready to come to the show, taking my dogs out for the last time, hot, melting, sweaty, looking so forward to just like a shower. And I was out with Max, and I look up, and sure enough, coming down the street, there's these two dogs, and I knew exactly who they were. And so, Max starts carrying on, and I couldn't reel him in fast enough, get inside, throw him in the crate, try to grab the two leashes that I have, on the coat tree by the door. One of them got stuck, and I lost precious seconds trying to untangle the stupid leash, get outside. They're not right there anymore, of course. And so, I go into panic mode. I, down the driveway, and I'm looking, and I see the one dog. Cars are beeping horns. I see the one dog, and he's kind of in the street, and he's trying to cross back over. I don't see the other one. I'm like, for the love of God, all right, get the one you can get. And so, I called him over. I probably did everything wrong, but it worked. I called him over. He came to me. I leashed him. I'm looking around. I didn't see the other dog, and I was like, oh, man. So I was just like gone, completely gone, without a trace. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll just walk this guy home. And I started a few, a few hundred feet down the road. I'm like, yeah, no, it's too hot for this. And I'm already like a soaking wet, stanking mess, and I can't. It's too hot. So we turned around, beat feet back to my house, tied him inside my porch, grab my keys, no bag, no license, no ID, no nothing. Just jump in the car, go down the street, get to the house, ring the bell. She comes out. I'm like, is this your dog? She's like, oh my God. Like, she didn't know they were missing. I think that was the worst part for me. She didn't realize they were missing. How do you not know? I know they're not your dogs. I know you're not, like, you don't have other pets, and, you know, it's new to you, but how do you not know the dogs are missing? So, you know, I told her, you know, I got this one. I don't know where the other one went. This one went, you know, up this way, and et cetera and so on. Said, I really have to get home because I'm running late. And, you know, she said to me, how did you know where to bring him? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm friends with the person who brought him home last time. And I was choking on so many different things I could have said, like, you know, does this need to keep happening? How, you know, bleh. I could have read her the riot act, but I didn't. So she brought him inside, and they went out to look for the other one. And I got to tell you, I was like a wreck, because like every few minutes I was looking out my window to see if I could see this dog. I was, you know, hoping that they got her. Apparently they did, because just before I headed out to come to the show, I took a detour down to where he is staying, and a young lady was coming out of the house to get in her car, and I asked her, you know, did the other dog make it home? And she said, yeah, so at least that's good. Or, you know, this would have been a slightly different opening story, where I would have been hooking up everybody with trying to help me find this lost dog, because I would have taken it very personally. You know, yeah, I did a good thing, but I feel like I failed the other one, because I just wasn't in a position to go comb in the neighborhood to find it. It's not a good feeling, but at least they're home, and I don't know what to do. I don't know if there's anything I can do, but I know that if they continue to get out, it's going to be a terrible thing, because they will get hit, one or both, or worse, because this is, you know, Waterbury, and Waterbury is not a good place to be a dog. So anyway, that's my bit of a story for tonight, and I just hope that it doesn't continue to happen, because it's not going to be pretty. It really isn't. And, you know, I'm probably not going to be a really nice person if it has to continue to happen. But like I said, thankfully, my friend shared the address with me, so we know exactly where they belong. And of course now the mailman knows too, so you know, at least there's that, and it's something. But they really need to be watched more carefully. And I don't know if you know, it's a question of education, or, you know, maybe these dogs need a different place to stay while their person is recovering. I don't know. Anyway, the first dog tonight is absolutely gorgeous. His name is Toledo, and we have lots of pictures because he's lots of beautiful. And just look at that face. I love him. He's got like that happy smile. He's got, you know, just looking at his, you could see the love in his eyes when the pictures are, you know, taken by his person. This picture happens to be, well, I'll tell his story and you'll know what it is. But anyway, Toledo is a 7-year-old boy who just isn't getting noticed at the shelter. He was left at the shelter as a quote-unquote stray by his owners, and it was apparently because he had a growth on his side, which is what you saw in that picture by the log. And of course, it's since been removed, and it was nothing more than a fatty growth, which dogs get, and it doesn't always have to be a big deal. And I don't know why or how that would have been grounds for not wanting him anymore, other than it was a poor excuse, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, Toledo walks nicely on a leash, and he is house-trained, loves people. With slow introductions, he's good with other dogs. He's a nice, friendly, medium-sized dog that keeps getting overlooked. Toledo has been waiting to start his new life since June of 2017. So really, he's spent the last year being betrayed by his people, getting, you know, a little surgery, and just being overlooked in the shelter, and I don't understand why. He's beautiful. Just look at him. He's got the speckles in his white. He's got just beautiful eyes. He's got a happy smile. He seems to be a really great dog. Looks like he gained a little weight at the shelter too, but you know, we're not gonna pass judgment. There's lots of treats, and you know, sometimes that's all they have when they're in the shelter is, you know, love, treats, and being spoiled however the volunteers can spoil them. But like, just look at how gorgeous he is. How is he being overlooked? And this is his shelter buddy Bonnie, and you know, you could just see the love. He is a love, and I'm sure he would be just the best companion. You know, how much better does it get than he'll get along with other dogs? You know, like they say, with slow and proper introductions, you know, you can't let two dogs overwhelm each other. One is invariably going to be a little more than the other, let's say. You just have to control it and do it slowly, and you know, let them feel each other out, and usually everything's going to be fine. So if anybody thinks that Toledo might be the dog for them, please contact the Town of Hempstead Animal Shelter, and their number is 516-785-5220. Once again, that's 516-785-5220. And you know, if you can't, please go on to the Facebook page, Posse Presents. He is there, and share him. That's a huge help too. And I just want to say thank you to Bonnie Zerillo for being Toledo's shelter buddy, and as always to Alberta Hanko for being so awesome about supplying me pictures and information about the Tojas dogs, because you know, she gets it to me and I can get it out there, and you know, together maybe we can get some of these dogs noticed, and you know, that's really what it's all about. All right, so next up is Flex. And isn't he gorgeous? He's got such interest. He's got like cow markings, but gray. Flex is a 3-year-old stunner who needs a home literally ASAP. He's lived with his person his whole life, and now, unfortunately, his person is terminally ill and has to go into a medical facility to continue her care. She's been struggling to take care of Flex the best she can, and she's devastated to be losing him. I mean, that's got to be so hard. I mean, never mind the fact that, you know, you're sick and you're dealing with medical treatment and it's debilitating and your health is in decline and, you know, you're falling apart and you're frail and, you know, they're telling you you're terminal and you know where that's going. But to lose your love, I mean, I would just be beside myself. I couldn't. And of course, imagine poor Flex, who has no idea what's coming. His world is going to be turned upside down in such a way that, you know, it's going to break his heart too. So Flex is up to date on vaccinations, but he is due soon. He loves people. He's great with kids. He's a happy, playful, 75-pound bouncing baby boy. He loves other dogs and has never been around cats. Flex walks wonderfully on a leash. He listens well, and he has excellent manners. So here's this dog who just seems perfect in so many ways, and he should be easy to place. He should be, you know, snapped up pretty quickly. If you are interested in an application, there isn't like an email address or, you know, a specific way that this person has put out to contact her, who is his advocate, other than to message her on Facebook. So here's what I'm going to do for the purpose of the show. Please visit the Posse Presents Facebook page for the contact information. If you see this post, that person's name will be there, and you know, you can click on it and try messaging, or you can email me at pawprints, PAWPRINTS 713@AOL.com, and I will give your information to the person who is trying to help get him homed. And that's the best I can do with that. But anyway, poor Flex. Again, share him And let's hopefully get him into a place where his transition will be an easy one, and it's still going to break his heart to have his world turned upside down, but we can make it better for him. Next up is Cain. Cain is a senior Cane Corso who has never known what it's like to have a loving home. He spent his entire life living outside, and he's now at a shelter where he just isn't doing well. And I can't say that I don't understand it at all, because I understand it. And you go from basically one, I hate to say one prison to another, but you're tied up outside, or however he was outside, and then you're used to the outdoors and that type of life, and then suddenly you're in a kennel and you're not outside, and it's a whole different world. He's not used to being inside. So anyway, yeah, he's not doing well, and you can't say you can blame him. He can live with a laid-back dog and older children. The shelter would really like to see Cain at least in a foster home to relieve him of the stress of the shelter environment. And it would probably be a very good thing for him to transition through a foster home so he gets used to living as a family member before he goes to a forever, kind of tweak him, get him used to it. But foremost, to get him situated so that he's not at the shelter where he's not doing well. So, if you're interested in fostering, or better yet, adopting Cain, please call the Town of Hempstead Animal Shelter at 516-785-5220. That's 516-785-5220. And I'm just going to say that they posted this week that the shelter is full, which, leaves them with about 200 pets, and that's an awful lot. So if you can find it in your heart to adopt or foster one of the dogs at Town of Hempstead Animal Shelter, you'll certainly be not only changing the animal's life, you'll be changing yours, and you'll make room for more, because there's always going to be more. Next up, we have Cora. And I showed Cora when she was at the shelter, but she has since been pulled by a friend. And, in the shelter, she was terrified and shut down. And that's never a good thing for a dog in a high volume kill shelter, because, that it leads to down one path. And thankfully, this friend is, a rescuer, and she could not, in clear conscience, let that happen, because she saw beyond the fear and the terror, and, she saw in Cora's heart. And so now, after a few weeks in her foster home, as this person knew, Cora is actually blossoming. She still has some insecurities and would do best in a quiet adult home. She does well with other mellow dogs. At about 7 years old, she weighs roughly 20 pounds. She's spayed, she's up to date, and she's microchipped. And if you are interested in Cora, you can visit www.halfwayhomerescue.org for an application. Once again, www.halfwayhomerescue.org. So next up, at the Windsor Animal Control, there is this gorgeous girl. Look at that face. She is just the cutest little piggy pitty face, and the sweetest, most soulful eyes. I just want to smush her face. I just want to kiss her right on the lips. So anyway, I think they're calling her Kagan, and she is up for adoption now. She went through her stray hold unclaimed, and she's ready to go. Unfortunately, there's no real info on the post that I saw about her, and how can you resist that face? If you are seeing what I see, and you want to know more, because I know I do, but I don't know that it's the best thing for me in this particular moment. Anyway, if you are interested in this sweet girl, please call Windsor Animal Control at 860-688-5273. Once again, that's 860-688-5273. God, I just want to kiss her little face. Next up, we have Davey. Look at him. Davey has been at Yonkers Animal Shelter for 14 months. That's over a year waiting for a home. That is so sad. And he looks sad, the poor thing. He's dog selective. He seems to prefer females. And they say he's a very low maintenance pup. He takes food gently. He walks well on a leash and loves to be outside and roll in the grass. He's not a fan of cats, but that's okay. He doesn't have to be. There's got to be a home out there with maybe a lady friend for him and no kitties, and you know, it'll be perfect. So if you're interested, you can check out his Facebook page, Davey Deserves a Home, and that's D-A-V-E-Y, Deserves a Home. Or you can call Yonkers Animal Shelter at 201-981-3215. That's Leslie's number. Once again, 201-981-3215. Some of these numbers I should know by heart by now. Anyway, next up is Fiona and Muggsy. Now, Fiona and Muggsy were found in the middle of the road. Had to have been dumped. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. Fiona is a beagle mix at about 12 years old. She should weigh roughly 30 pounds, but when she was found, she was literally laying in the middle of the street, weighing more than 60 pounds. She's lost a lot of weight, or a good amount of weight. She's definitely on a good path to being happier and healthier. There she is. She's overweight. Muggsy is the puggle, who is about 10 years old. These two are very bonded and must stay together. It's terrible that an animal loses a home, good, bad, or otherwise, by being dumped or, dropped off at a shelter. But when you've got two dogs or cats who are bonded, all that they have left in the world that they know is each other. So to separate them, I really have so many issues with. And, kudos to these ACOs who recognize that, the best course of action right now is to try to keep them together. So they're non-reactive to other dogs. So it's very possible that they would blend well into an established pack. That would be a beautiful thing. What's two more when you have several or one or whatever. There's no idea how they would do with cats, and older kids would probably be best because, they're older and they have no time or patience, or they shouldn't have to put up with, the nonsense of small children. So if you are interested, please call New Hartford Bark Hampstead Animal Control at 860-309-7228. Once again, that's 860-309-7228. Or Harwinton Animal Control at 860-806-8743. Once again, that's 860-806-8743. And, they're a great pair, and they're at a great shelter. And if you remember Sherry from For the Love of Jack, who was on the show about a month ago or so, these are two dogs that she likes to go spoil and love on at the shelter. And so, she asked me to put these guys out there last week, but it was too late because I was already left the house. So here they are now. And if you call New Hartford Bark Hampstead Animal Shelter, you'll be talking to Les, who you've seen on the show any number of times with Bikers Against Animal Cruelty, or you'll be talking to Tom, who will be on the show someday, I'm sure. And today's his birthday, so happy birthday, Tom. All right, so I will take the camera back. Here I am, back with my blue tongue. All right, so is Zach laughing at me again? Stop laughing at me. So the Friends of Windsor Animal Control is holding a pet first aid class on Saturday, June 9th at the Grace Evangelical Church, 311 Broad Street in Windsor. It'll be held from 10 to 1, and it will focus on basic first aid, CPR, and emergency care. And I can't stress enough how critical I think it is for people who are in rescue, for people who work with animals, for people who are at animal events a lot. Someone's got to be trained. And you know, if you've got, say, John Nowinski from Ears at your event, you're covered, you're great, but he's not going to be at every event. Things happen, and things happen quickly, and I think that knowledge is power, and if you know what to do, you know, if a dog is choking or if a dog is, you know, injured, it takes the stress out of the situation a little bit because you're focusing on how to help your animal, and it's also potentially life-saving to the animal who is having the episode. And so I was certified years ago, and yeah, you're supposed to, you know, recertify every couple of years or whatever, and it's been a while, but at least I've taken, you know, a couple of the classes, and I've gone through the basics, and you know, that with a little bit of common sense, we'd be all right maybe. But I think that, you know, a refresher for those who have taken courses before, you know, it's the kind of stuff that you want it not to be in the back of your brain. You want to be able to keep yourself fresh with the skills. Because again, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, it just is what it is. Anyway, if you're interested, email Maggie at drfarley.com or call Maggie at 860-688-4325. Once again, that's 860-688-4325. And if you're interested, you do have to register for the course. Anyway, I am going to say peace, love, and dogs. Until next time, thank you for watching. Good night.